What's up, people? It's your man Urban Low reporting from the Urban. Hey, I think we get back. The Lakers come back. I think they play their first game back, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday, which is actually tomorrow. Didn't really drop nothing. Didn't really had too much to talk about. I had a couple things I wanted to talk about, but I choose not to because, like I said, I would drop something every Monday. But based on the fact it was mostly the All-Star, and based on the fact that we really didn't have nobody in the All-Star, I didn't really want to talk about it because this is the Lakers channel, and I don't really want to keep talking about other teams or players on the Lakers channel. I would prefer to talk about it if I decide to make another channel, which, because of Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance going to Cleveland, has inspired me to eventually that I'm going to do. Probably starting the beginning of the next season or going towards the draft, and I'll probably just do it like another channel. I'm not gonna tell y'all the name channel because I want nobody to steal my title. But anyway, Kobe came out in an interview. I forgot who he was talking to, and he stated that they asked him, well, first it was more like the front office, as a scene, the front office want Kobe to get more involved. Well, they asked Kobe, could he be like a front runner, like to talk to some of the free agents about coming here. And Kobe stated that if I got to convince you to come to LA, then you don't belong here. I said it in Twitter, and I agree with Kobe. Now, a lot of people always think I'm a Kobe hater, this and that. Most of the biased ones. I'm not a Kobe hater. I'm just one that critiques players' plays. Just like if I'm working and I'm doing something wrong, I want somebody to let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't want you to sugarcoat it and say, yeah, you're doing right, when next time I'm getting fired because I'm thinking I'm doing right, but in reality I'm doing wrong. But anyway, Kobe stated that, if I got to convince you to come play for LA, then you don't need to be here. Nobody should need to convince. Nobody should need of convincing because, based on the fact of Magic Johnson and in the following footsteps of Magic Johnson and him, players should want to come here. Now, I agree with Kobe about the point that we shouldn't have to convince people want to come here. If you want to play, if you want to change the scenery, you want to play, you like, for instance, PG-13, he wants to come here. DeMarcus Cousins, at one point in time, he wants to come here. That's why I was telling people before that I'd rather go after players that I know for a fact that wanted to come here. Before DeMarcus Cousins got hurt, before he got traded to the Pelicans, this is what we were saying in Sacramento, he wanted to come play for LA. Saying it with PG-13. These individuals want to come here. Now, the ESPN think that Kobe is indirectly talking about LeBron James. If he is, I understand why he says that, because, you shouldn't have to convince or beg. But here's the thing. If it's based on that alone, it's not just talking about LeBron James. It's also about how the way that the organization went in order to make room for LeBron James, if you think about it. Because before we traded Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance, we had enough money to get one. We would have had enough money to get one all-star, superstar. But I figured Magic Johnson probably figured, like, in order to persuade somebody else to come here, we have to open up in order to get two all-star, which makes sense because ain't no one person going to want to come to a team and, and play the likes of the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, or the Cavaliers. You want at least two superstars. Me personally, I'm going to talk about this in a minute about the development of players. I am a diehard believer in developing players, only because I look at Golden State Warriors, what Jerry West and them guys did over there. I would like to take that same potion that they have and utilize it for our team. The only problem is the Lakers fan base, and I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of the Lakers fan base, they're gravitating to the superstars and forgetting about what we already have in-house. And they're already overlooking, just like when IT came. Everybody jumped on the IT ship. Oh, IT. Forget about Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Hart, and all them. IT better than Jordan Clarkson, all this crazy stuff. And I say, and I'm saying, looking like, what's going on with the fan base? Like, we're so impatient to, like, get a player or a superstar. We'll take anything. Brook Lopez, for example, he was a trade. Lou Aldane, Moscow, we're quick to gravitate to anybody that's fresh face to come to LA. And then after a season or two, or after 40 games in, we start to really look at these players and be like, damn, we should have did this and did that. That's what happened when you become impatient. Everybody say sometimes you just got to be patient and grow and develop what you already have in-house, because what happens is when you're focusing on other superstars and forget about what you got, these individuals are going to be, emotionally hurt. They might not show it towards the fan base, the media, or whatever, but deep inside they're emotionally hurt. So when that time come up for them to actually be able to walk, 90% of the time they're going to walk, because the way that the fan base or the organization is treating them. Now, going back to Kobe. Now, Kobe, like I said, I agree with him to the point where he said you shouldn't have to convince nobody, because you shouldn't. You should want to come here. I've been saying before, because one thing about it, what people fail to realize, if you know a team got a lot of money and a player is not talking about that team, but they say, you know what, I want to go to LA. You know, he makes that move to go to LA. Only because now it's not really about him going to win championships. It's about him more of a financial structure, which I don't disagree, because I know everybody's trying to get their pennies in every sport, opportunity to get, because you only got so many years before you actually are retiring. So a lot of players are not really focusing on going to LA, but sometimes it's just about the money. Well, I'm going to come to LA because they got the money, and then you see it after so many years, they didn't do nothing, they didn't develop, they didn't do anything, they didn't help, well, not develop, but they didn't help the team develop, they didn't go in the right direction. Prime example, Luol Deng signed a big contract. Was that his fault? No, his agents made a good deal. That's all it was. Agents made a good deal, same with Moscow. They made a good deal, and at the end of the time, people failed to realize the Lakers had to spend 90% of that new CBA agreement. Now, did they have to do guaranteed contracts? No, they did guaranteed contracts on the strength that Jim Buss, because I also said this because Dan, the Laker fan, say he hate Mitch, and I want to rectify. I want to basically talk about, not really talk about it, but Mitch Kupchak ain't do too bad, you know what I mean? But he is what you call a face of the organization. Everything he does, it got to go through Jim Buss. Remember that. Jeannie Buss wasn't really around. She was more out doing her thing. She allowed Jim Buss to run the organization while she did her thing. So Jim Buss, everything that went through, had Mitch Kupchak, whatever decision the Mitch Kupchak and the coaches did, it had to go through Jim. So Jim, when they made the move, Jim gave these guaranteed contract because he knew he was on the way out the door. I know I'm flipping and flopping, but I'm going to get back to the Kobe thing. But Jim Buss knew he was out the door, so by him being out the door, he gave these guaranteed contracts to actually, to basically stick it to his sister. So that way, if you do get draft picks and all that, in order to move these players, you're going to have to give up some of that stock that you got on that floor. That's why you lost DeAndre Russell. That's why players like Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance had to go. All because of how Jim Buss set them up for failure. He didn't want them to succeed, because if he wanted them to succeed, he would never give them long-term guaranteed contracts. He either gave them contract with stipulations in them, but there were no stipulations. So anyway, like Kobe said, yes, but this is one thing I do disagree with Kobe. Based on the fact that we now have social media, you can go to a small market team. If your brand is good, like say for instance LeBron James, he's in Cleveland. Cleveland's not a big market team, but because of his brand, media, everybody gonna follow LeBron regardless. He gonna get all the playing time. Matter of fact, Cleveland's getting more airtime than the LA Lakers. Right now, the Lakers and the New York Knicks are the two biggest money-making franchises. But that's because of all the deals and everything. But Cleveland, because of LeBron James, they're going to follow LeBron James. The money's going to follow LeBron James regardless. You know what I mean? So LeBron can go anywhere based on the fact with social media, he don't have to just go to a big market team no more. He can go to anywhere. And Kobe and all of them have to understand and realize that. You don't have to play for the likes of the Los Angeles Lakers, the New York Knicks. You can play for any small team and still get that pop. You know, I know a lot of people talking about Damian Lillard, that he need to leave Portland and go somewhere else to a bigger market. But keep in mind, Damian Lillard been an all-star a couple times already. It's just that you got so many guards in the West. That's why he got shadowed. I mean, if you look at the West, they're deep with guards. So it wasn't like that Damian Lillard was being, shadow out. He needed to go to a bigger market. It was just there was more guards in the West. So with that being said, that's why I had to look at it. I had to think about it. You know, yeah, you don't have to convince nobody. You know what I mean? You pitch your pitch. If they take it, if they buy into it, that's cool. If not, you shouldn't have to do all this marketing in order to bring this player here. Because now the player just comes based on the fact it's money, or it can be something like I can't think of the dang word right now, but it's just based on either money or I can't think of the word. Forget the word. Anyway, the other thing is, like I said before, is that you have to understand and realize that a lot of I can say old heads because I'm old head myself. A lot of older guys or older viewers and stuff like that, they think because we're LA that people are just going to walk in there because we got Magic Johnson in the front office. People just going to walk in there. That's not how it works, man. You know, because first and foremost, a lot of these players that are leaving teams, PG-13, DeMarcus Cousins, LeBron James, the main three free agents. I'm hoping and praying DeMarcus Cousins come back 90% and then work his way back into good health and strength so he could be hopefully the dominant player he was before he got hurt. But those three individuals are the three toppest free agents this season. LeBron James is going to go with a team that either you're going to, if you go to LA, he's definitely going to come with a superstar. This is the only reason why I see Magic Johnson open up another spot for LeBron James, you know, for two superstars. It makes sense. The reason why I say that because if you think about it, Cleveland made it, LA made a move when they made a trade with Cleveland. Cleveland got two of their young players to help LeBron James get in the finals. because they're going to beat Boston. They're going to get in the finals. So the Lakers looked out for LeBron James and them. Well, for Cleveland. Now, the thing is, if it's just PG-13 coming, and LeBron already said, look, I'm going to stay in Cleveland. If it was just PG-13 coming, the Lakers would have made that move. They would just went on and got PG-13. That's what I'm thinking. Based on the fact they say, okay, DeMarcus Cousins just got hurt. LeBron say, okay, I'm staying. This is all before the trade. PG-13, the only one that so far Lakers fan and the Lakers organization, the front office, 90% believe is coming to LA. LeBron say, well, I'm staying in Cleveland. DeMarcus Cousins get hurt. The trade comes. I don't think the Lakers will make that move, only because they know out of all of them, only one was coming is PG-13, and you're taking a risk with DeMarcus Cousins. But that's the only reason I see that. But in the day, like I said, with social media and all that, it's kind of like, nobody's just gonna walk into the Lakers just because of the Lakers itself. No, nobody's not gonna just walk into LA. It's not like back in the days in the 80s, the 70s, well, the 90s on down, even 90s on down. It's not like it was back then, because remember Charles Barkley even stated, when he thought he was getting traded to LA, he said he went out and got drunk. He was so drunk, but then he decided to back off. He came to the game drunk. He don't remember what happened. So back in those days, everybody wanted to play for LA or the Boston Celtics. You know what I mean? The New York Knicks. But really those two teams, the main two teams everybody wanted to play on. But now, like I said, with social media, you can go to a small market and get support from a small market team you would from a big team. That's my take on it. And as far as I'm concerned, the Lakers front office, the fan base, we got to start looking at our young players. Straight up, stop, casting stones on it, but got to look at our young players and watch them develop. I mean, you see what we got with Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, even with Zubac, getting the playing time. Zubac, who else? Zubac, Josh Hart. Hopefully we get to see Thomas Bryant, Lonzo Ball. So we should be more focused on the develop our young players and watching them evolve. And then adding pieces in there if we don't get no free agent at the end of the season. I know a lot of people say I would bring him back. Only way I bring IT back, to be honest with you guys, if he take a minimum like $4 million. I wouldn't give him nothing, $6-7 million. I'm sorry. I mean, if he want to go somewhere else and get more money, that's cool. But I wouldn't give all that money to him. We made that mistake. Well, I ain't gonna say we made that mistake because we had to give up a certain amount this year in order to stay within the agreement. So that's why they gave KCP 19 million, something like that, because they had to fall within that agreement. They got to spend 90% of their money every year. So in that percentage, that's the reason why they did that. But I think the Lakers need to focus more on the developing the young players, and I think the fan base need to stop shallowing away from the young players and start promoting them more, showing love to these young players, because we don't want them to leave. The only way they're going to leave is the front office leave. But if we show the same love that y'all gave PG-13 about coming to LA every time you step on the floor and all that, that's the same exact love y'all need to show Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, all them guys, man, when they get on the floor. Even if they, as long as they come to play, regardless they lose or not, as long as they come to play and they give energy each and every night, we still support our team. Now, if the nights that they don't come to play, they get blown out, yeah, you got a right to get all on them, because at the end of the day, you want to put good product out on that floor. Anyways, your man, Urban Lover, like, share, subscribe, get in the comment section, tell me what you think. I love you guys. Be safe out there. So much going on in the world. I would have put on my Black Panther outfit because I was about to get rowdy, but I ain't gonna get rowdy with you guys because I love y'all, and I've got my spear in the back of the trunk, and I'm about to run up in this shop real quick and hold it down for me, brothers.